Welcome back to ACC Tip-Off, presented by Ally.
Oh, beautiful uptown Charlotte, where we
Welcome
are
back
hanging
to
out today, tomorrow,
the ACC
and
Tip-Off,
the next day as well.
presented
3
by
straight
Ally.
days of ACC
We're live
basketball. We've
at
got
the
the
Charlotte.
women today,
We
beginning
are
tomorrow,
live
and then the
in
men
Charlotte,
will
North
leave
Carolina,
tomorrow and
live from the
next day. Debbie will be on site for all
from
of
the
that.
Hilton
We're here for the good stuff.
Uptown
No offense
Charlotte
to the men, of course. You do. It's good
Hotel
stuff over there
in
as well. We
Charlotte,
some
North
off-season
Carolina. This is a beautiful
storylines
hotel in
and a lot
Charlotte,
of
North
returning
Carolina.
stars. Hannah Hidalgo, of course, ACC Player of the Year, as well as Kamora Johnson and Zoe Brooks, who we talked to earlier, plus a couple of new coaches. SMU and Georgia Tech both.
And now
coaches
we
in
will
Barnes
break
and
down in the
Karen
non-conference
Blair, and
schedule and
some
see
international action
what
to
will
begin the
it
season.
will
Duke
be
plays Baylor,
like
Cal faces Vandy
for the
and
upcoming
Marist
season
on
in November
opening
next
night,
month.
and
That's
then
all.
the next day, Louisville takes on the defending champs of UConn in Germany. So that should be really fun. As I said before the break, Kelly Gramlich, Debbie Antonelli, Kelsey Ricks-Cuff hanging out with you. And listen, the non-conference schedule for the ACC, no surprise, Kelly, it looks really good and really tough again this year.
So many teams are challenging themselves. You start off in Europe, as every good college basketball season should start, Debbie. We start in Paris. We got that Duke-Baylor game. I'm really interested in that one. And then Louisville. Look, Jeff Walz hides from nobody. We know that. You look at his schedule, they're going to play UConn right off the bat. And I think we'll learn a good bit about Louisville there with Taj Roberts coming back, Amari Berry. I want to see how these freshmen take that next step and some of the other players he brought in. And Duke, I think Duke's going to be very good. I'm really interested with a player like Ariana Roberson, her coming back from injury, Emily Skinner, the freshman, and then bringing back a lot of that core. They will miss Alicia Conwell for sure, but that defense is going to travel all the way to Europe for Duke.
I also think Duke is fantastic. I think they are a quarter away from being a Final Four team last year. I went back and rewatched the fourth quarter of their loss to South Carolina in the Elite Eight, and they didn't make just one mistake. They made several. I do believe Coach Lawson will fix that. I think they have a lot of talent. I think they are a Final Four team in her 6th year. But to speak to the non-conference, I am really a big believer in the science that comes with the non-conference for coaches, and it depends on where your program is. Every coach has a great vision, and the portal has changed some of this, but you have to know where your team is so that you can put the right habits in place to prepare for the ACC. Everything you do in the non-conference is to get ready to compete in the ACC. So some teams will load it up, and like an NC State who's playing a really challenging non-conference, they should. They have a lot of talent coming back. Duke, they should. And then there's other teams that they're building habits with new players, new chemistry, and I think that's fine too. To your point, though, Louisville doesn't shy away from anybody. This is going to be a fun non-conference to keep an eye on.
Well, because to your point, the non-conference does different things for different teams depending on where they are right now. But those international games, Debbie, they're different because, I mean, just the travel, obviously, itself, but also the experience that you have with your team. But this isn't like an off-season experience. Like, this is, we're kicking the season off, and then we got to figure it out from there.
And what I love is that coaches will do this and players don't know that because you're worried about the next play and making the next possession work. But coaches are constantly dealing with concepts and getting ready. They're advancing their schedule and practice. They do that in the summer with some of the player development stuff they do. And then you get conceptually this time of the year. And then you're intentionally about matching up your concepts against the competition that you're going to play. So early on, those games overseas that Cal and Duke and Louisville are playing are definitely going to help set them up for what will be a really challenging non-conference for all of those teams.
The non-cons in this league are just so good. There are so many teams challenging themselves. Not just Europe. Even before Europe, you've got North Carolina scrimmaging South Carolina. So that's really interesting. That's going to be an exhibition, but we'll learn a lot there. And then you've got NC State playing Tennessee to start the season, playing Southern Cal in the Allied Tip-Off. I love what the Allied Tip-Off has done there in Charlotte. We've got that first week, Debbie, it's like drinking out of a fire hose.
I mean, the players want to play, all right? They've been on campus since June. Maybe they took a few weeks off. I mean, now they're into the full go of practice, and they just want to compete. They want to play. So I love the exhibition games, especially when they lead to some philanthropic opportunity. I think the NCAA has done a really good job of allowing teams on the men and the women's side to play those games, and it's good competition. I mean, NC State's going to take on Maryland. Maryland is going to be really good this year. They're picked second in the Big Ten. That's a championship caliber team. I mean, it's good. It's good that these coaches are lining it up early.
The exhibition games are good. The international stuff is good. The non-conference schedule as a whole. But guys, we obviously have to key in on the ACC SEC challenge because that is always must-see TV. Those games are so good and so competitive. It'll take place first week of December. Tons of great matchups between the two conferences. 16 games over 2 days highlighted. Day 1, NC State facing Oklahoma, Tennessee against Stanford. And then on Thursday, things really heat up. Louisville, South Carolina, North Carolina heads to Austin, and Duke squares off with LSU as Notre Dame travels to Ole Miss. This is going to be good, Debbie. It always is.
Well, just on that screen alone right there, North Carolina at Texas. Texas is a Final Four caliber team. They've got one of the best players in the country in Madison Booker. And then I love the Duke-LSU matchup in Cameron. Are you kidding me? I mean, LSU has the #1 recruiting class. Duke will be a Final Four team. I mean, these are early matchups that get your fans excited. Should be good ratings, should be good for the game, because we care about ratings, right? We care about ratings. We care about putting our best product forward on our air.
There really is not a sport out there that does the non-conference better than women's basketball. These teams are going to challenge each other, and you get that type of thing where you don't have to wait till the conference slate to get great matchups. Women's basketball has always done a great job of that, and the ACC SEC Challenge is a perfect example because these are the two best leagues in the country. It's been that way for a while. It's going to be that way this year, and so it's bragging rights. Last year, the ACC, they had a few games in that challenge that went the wrong way, and they lost the challenge to the SEC, and it hurts, right? And when you look at recruiting, some of these SEC schools recruiting super well. You look at the portal, some teams leaving ACC for SEC. Like, this matters, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And then from a resume building standpoint, Debbie, if you're North Carolina and you're going to Texas, you get that win at Texas, that would be huge for you going forward when you're looking at top 4 seed, whatever it is. So many opportunities for the resume building in this one.
That's the component that matters the most to me. I mean, everybody has resource. They have great toys and facilities. They have incredible travel and amenities. Everybody's very flatline the same. The challenge does allow teams that may not have seen each other in the footprint to be able to play. But the measurement of the net and all the efficiencies and everything that comes with what is in the net for the postseason, this matters now. That's why you play early non-conference games. The challenge is a piece of that, and then you get ready for the conference. I think it's great that these two leagues are matching up in the challenge.
The other one I really like is Louisville, South Carolina, because it's at the KFC Yum Center. So that's a big deal because Louisville's going to get them on their home turf. I think we'll learn a lot about Louisville with that first game against UConn, but we say this every year at tip-off, Debbie. We never count out Jeff Walls. He's one of the greatest coaches we've seen in this sport, and I'm really excited about those freshmen becoming sophomores, and Taj Roberts, Amari Berry, and McKinley Randolph. Can we see Louisville take that next step? I know the Yum Center will be packed for that game.
Looking forward to talking to them tomorrow. Meanwhile, let's talk a few more storylines right now. And Debbie, I know there's a few things that you have your eye on this season. What are those?
Yeah, so I think Duke is a Final Four team. I think everything that Carol Lawson puts in place to get this team ready is there. I think the player development and their improvement, whether it's improving their three-point percentage, I think Virginia is going to end their 7-year drought of the NCAA tournament. I definitely think they have a roster that's built to win right away. They have a backcourt that has 2 scorers in double figures returning. Nobody else in the league has that. And Stanford under Kate Pay in year 2. And then, of course, I think the difference in the ACC comes in the backcourt, and I'm calling it point guard you this year. I think every team, if you don't have a good point guard, you're going to struggle. You're going to figure out a way to be able to initiate, whether it's getting it off the glass and flowing into your offense. But when the defenses kick in the last 10 seconds of that shot clock, you got to have somebody that can make a play and break off the offense unscripted. And if you don't have good guard play, you're going to struggle in this league. I think this league is full of great guard play, and that's why I'm calling it point guard you this year.
I love it, Debbie. The guards in this league are always elite, and I think this year is no exception. We talk about Hannah Hidalgo. We opened the show with her. She's has a chance to be one of the best players in the country. One guard that maybe we haven't talked about enough that I think is special is Kimora Johnson. And you bring up Virginia. This is the year for Virginia.
Yes.
Coach Mox has done a really good job there of rebuilding that program. She's hit the portal hard, surrounding Mo with these pieces. Kimora Johnson grew up a Virginia fan. She grew up going to Virginia games. She's from Charlottesville. It's an incredible story, and she is an elite player. And I really want to see her get that publicity this year. And for that to happen, Virginia's got to win. And we'll see if that happens.
Well, look, I watched them practice on Saturday. They are big and strong. They are long and athletic. They are deep, and Mo has lots of options to get the ball to. She grew up 2.3 miles from the JPJ. And she's ready to win. She's ready to put herself amongst the greats in Virginia basketball history. And that only happens if you win. And she's ready to take this team to the next level.
And Virginia's had some good guards. You know, they've had a couple of good guards.
I was here a couple months ago for ACC football kickoff, and it's the conference of quarterbacks. So we're now going conference of point guards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Debbie Antonelli.
Yeah.
So put that on a banner somewhere where the ACC Debbie's got it all figured out for you. We got more coming here from the conference of point guards on the other side of this break. We're talking a little bit about what to expect next season. Our preseason predictions are in. It is never too early because guess what? We're 28 days away.
We'll be right back on the other side with the preseason predictions. Let's get that.
I'm Dr.